Fortune Cookie Revelation. A Life Transformed. Part 1. The Birthday Dinner. Emma sat at a large round table in the heart of Chinatown, surrounded by her closest friends. The restaurant buzzed with the sounds of clinking chopsticks, sizzling woks, and lively conversations. It was her 30th birthday, and the celebration was in full swing. Steaming plates of dim sum, fragrant bowls of noodles, and colorful stir-fries filled the table, a testament to the group's shared love for Chinese cuisine. As the meal wound down, the waiter brought over a tray of fortune cookies, a tradition Emma's friends never skipped. They each grabbed a cookie, cracking them open with anticipation and reading their fortunes aloud with laughter and amusement. "Mine says, 'You will soon receive a surprise,'" Sarah giggled, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Mine says, 'Adventure awaits you,'" chimed in Tom, a thrill-seeker by nature. When it was Emma's turn, she hesitated for a moment, feeling an inexplicable sense of anticipation. She broke the cookie in half, expecting to see the usual slip of paper. Instead, she found a small, neatly folded piece of paper with a handwritten note. Her heart skipped a beat as she read the words, "Your true path awaits you in the place you least expect." Her friends leaned in, eager to hear her fortune. Emma read it aloud, her voice tinged with curiosity and a hint of disbelief. The table erupted in playful interpretations, each suggestion more outlandish than the last. "Maybe you'll find love in a laundromat," Sarah joked, causing everyone to burst into laughter. "Or maybe you'll discover a hidden talent for karaoke," Tom added, winking at her. Yet, as the laughter subsided, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that the message was meant for her alone. It lingered in her mind like a melody she couldn't quite place, stirring something deep within her. Part 2. The Intriguing Note. That night, as she lay in bed, Emma found herself pondering the note's meaning. Was it a mere coincidence, or did it hold a deeper significance? The question lingered in her mind, sparking a desire for change she hadn't realized was there. Emma was a successful graphic designer, working for a well-known advertising agency in New York City. Her life was comfortable, predictable, and, if she was honest with herself, a bit stagnant. The daily grind of meetings, deadlines, and client demands had dulled her creativity. The handwritten note seemed to whisper of possibilities she hadn't considered, urging her to explore the unknown. The next morning, she woke up with a renewed sense of purpose. As she sipped her coffee, she decided to take a different route to work, one that would lead her through a neighborhood she rarely visited. The streets were alive with the hustle and bustle of city life, and for the first time in a long while, Emma felt a spark of excitement. She passed by a small bookstore, its window filled with colorful displays of new releases and classic novels. On a whim, she stepped inside, inhaling the scent of aged paper and fresh ink. As she browsed the shelves, she stumbled upon a book about creativity and self-discovery. The title, The Artist's Way, resonated with her, and she purchased it, feeling as though she had taken a step toward the unknown. Part 3. A New Journey. Emma's weekends became a time for exploration. She attended pottery classes, took up yoga, and even joined a book club. Each new endeavor brought her into contact with people from different walks of life, each with their own stories and insights. One Saturday, while wandering through a street fair in Brooklyn, Emma stumbled upon a small, unassuming art gallery. The sign above the door read "Hidden Treasures," and something about it called to her. She stepped inside, her senses immediately enveloped by the vibrant colors and eclectic mix of artwork on display. As she wandered through the gallery, one painting in particular caught her eye. It was an abstract piece, a swirling blend of colors that seemed to pulse with energy. The artist's name, Lucas, was scrawled in the corner. Emma felt an inexplicable connection to the work, as if it spoke to a part of her she had long ignored. "Isn't it beautiful?" a voice said from behind her. Emma turned to see a tall, lean man with tousled hair and paint-stained hands. He had an air of quiet intensity about him. "Yes, it really is," Emma replied, her heart racing slightly. "What inspired it?" Lucas smiled, his eyes lighting up. It's about the chaos of life and the beauty that emerges from it. I believe art should evoke emotion, don't you? Emma nodded, feeling an instant connection. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, touching on art, life, and the courage it takes to follow one's heart. Lucas shared his journey of leaving a stable job in finance to pursue his passion for painting, and Emma felt a sense of belonging she hadn't experienced before. Part 4: The Encounter. As they talked, Emma discovered that Lucas had faced similar doubts and fears when he made the leap into the art world. His story resonated deeply with her, igniting a flicker of hope. "Sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith," Lucas said, his voice earnest. "You never know where it might lead you." Emma left the gallery that day feeling inspired. She had always admired art but had never considered creating it herself. The idea of picking up a paintbrush felt both exhilarating and terrifying. Over the next few weeks, Emma found herself returning to the gallery. Each visit deepened her connection with Lucas, and they began to share more than just conversations about art. They exchanged stories about their lives, dreams, and fears. Emma learned that Lucas had grown up in a small town, far from the vibrant city life he now embraced. He had struggled with the decision to follow his passion, and his journey was filled with ups and downs. One evening, as they sat on a bench outside the gallery, Lucas turned to Emma. "You know, you have a creative spark in you. Have you ever thought about trying your hand at painting?" Emma hesitated, the self-doubt creeping in. "I don't know. I've never really done anything like that. What if I'm terrible?" "Everyone starts somewhere," Lucas replied, his tone encouraging. "Why don't you join me for a painting session? I can help you get started." Part 5: A New Direction. Emma's heart raced at the thought. The idea of painting was both thrilling and intimidating. But the allure of exploring a new path, one that resonated with the fortune cookie note, was irresistible. The following weekend, Emma met Lucas at a small studio he rented in Brooklyn. The space was filled with canvases, paint tubes, and brushes of all sizes. It felt like stepping into a different world, one where creativity flowed freely. "Just relax and let your instincts guide you," Lucas advised as he set up the materials. "There's no right or wrong in art, just expression." As Emma dipped her brush into the vibrant colors, she felt a sense of liberation. The first strokes were tentative, but with each movement, she began to let go of her inhibitions. The canvas transformed into a chaotic blend of colors, reflecting her emotions in a way she had never experienced before. Hours passed, and Emma lost herself in the process. When she finally stepped back to look at her work, she was surprised by what she saw. It wasn't a masterpiece, but it was a raw expression of her feelings, a reflection of her journey thus far. "I love it," Lucas exclaimed, his eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "You've captured something beautiful here." Emma beamed with pride, feeling a rush of validation. For the first time in years, she felt alive and connected to her creativity. Encouraged by Lucas, she began to paint regularly, experimenting with different styles and techniques. Each session brought her closer to understanding herself and her artistic voice. Part 6: Challenges and Growth. As Emma immersed herself in her newfound passion, she faced challenges that tested her resolve. Balancing her job as a graphic designer with her painting was no easy feat. There were days when exhaustion threatened to overwhelm her, and self-doubt crept back in. One evening, after a particularly grueling day at work, Emma found herself staring at a blank canvas, frustration bubbling to the surface. "What am I doing?" she muttered to herself. "I'm just a graphic designer. I can't be an artist." Just then, her phone buzzed with a message from Lucas. "Remember, every artist has doubts. It's part of the process. Keep pushing through." His words struck a chord. Emma realized that the journey of self-discovery was rarely linear. It was filled with ups and downs, moments of clarity, and periods of confusion. She decided to embrace the struggle as part of her growth. With renewed determination, Emma began to experiment more boldly with her art. She explored different mediums, from watercolors to acrylics, and even tried her hand at mixed media. Each piece she created became a reflection of her evolving identity, capturing her fears, hopes, and dreams. As she shared her work with friends, their reactions were overwhelmingly positive. They encouraged her to showcase her art publicly, but the thought terrified her. What if people didn't like it? What if they criticized her? Lucas, ever the supportive mentor, urged her to take the leap. Art is meant to be shared. You never know who it might touch. Just remember, it's about expressing yourself, not seeking validation. Part 7: The Turning Point. Emma's breakthrough came during a local art exhibition organized by the gallery where Lucas showcased his work. He encouraged her to submit a piece, and after much deliberation, she chose one of her favorite paintings, a vibrant explosion of colors that represented her journey of self-discovery. The night of the exhibition, Emma felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. The gallery was filled with art enthusiasts, critics, and fellow artists. As she stood by her painting, she watched people engage with her work, their expressions shifting from curiosity to contemplation. "Who painted this?" a woman asked, pointing to Emma's piece. "That would be me," Emma replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "Wow, it's incredible. The energy is palpable," the woman said, her eyes wide with appreciation. Emma felt a rush of warmth at the compliment, her confidence growing with each positive interaction. As the evening progressed, Emma found herself surrounded by a small group of admirers, discussing her work and the inspiration behind it. She felt a sense of belonging she hadn't experienced in years. This was the place she was meant to be. By the end of the night, several pieces of her artwork had sold, and Emma was approached by a local gallery owner interested in showcasing her work in an upcoming exhibition. Overwhelmed with joy, she realized that the handwritten note from the fortune cookie was beginning to feel fulfilled. Her true path was unfolding before her eyes, in ways she had never imagined. Part 8: Reflection and Realization. As Emma's career blossomed, she took time to reflect on her journey and the impact of the fortune cookie note. She realized that the note had been a catalyst for change, not a literal prediction. It had opened her heart to the possibilities of the present, encouraging her to pursue her passions with courage and determination. One afternoon, while painting in her studio, Emma paused to look around at her surroundings. The walls were adorned with her artwork, each piece telling a story of her transformation. She thought about how far she had come since that fateful birthday dinner. The fear and uncertainty that had once held her back were now replaced with confidence and purpose. Emma understood that life was not about waiting for opportunities to come knocking. It was about creating them. She had taken the leap, followed her heart, and discovered a world of creativity and self-expression that had always been within her. Part 9: A Life Transformed. Emma's life was transformed, and she found fulfillment in her new career. Her art continued to evolve, reflecting her growth and the lessons she had learned along the way. She remained connected with Lucas, whose friendship and mentorship had been instrumental in her journey. As she prepared for her first solo exhibition, Emma felt a mix of nerves and excitement. She had poured her heart and soul into her work, and now it was time to share it with the world. The opening night was a celebration of her journey, a culmination of the risks she had taken and the passion she had discovered. The gallery was filled with friends, family, and art enthusiasts, all eager to see her work. As Emma stood by her paintings, she felt a profound sense of gratitude. The handwritten note from the fortune cookie had guided her to this moment, reminding her that the journey was just as important as the destination. Part 10: The Final Revelation. The story culminated in a moment of reflection. After the exhibition, Emma found herself sitting at a small cafe, sipping tea and savoring the success of the night. She opened another fortune cookie, a tradition she had embraced since that fateful dinner. As she cracked it open, she felt a sense of anticipation. The message inside read, "The journey is the reward." Emma smiled, understanding that the true fortune was not in the words themselves, but in the courage to embrace change and follow her heart. With a heart full of gratitude and a newfound sense of purpose, Emma realized that life's greatest fortunes are not found in material success, but in the richness of experiences, connections, and the courage to pursue one's passions. She had transformed her life, and the adventure was just beginning.
Subscribe for more.